Hello, everybody. Welcome back to One Leeds. I hope you feel like you're in a Zen Amsterdam coffee shop right now. How does that make you feel, Brownie, after that, mate? Do you suddenly feel like that excitement's just been quelled by that music?
Yeah, I think I need to listen to that after every game. It proper chills you and relaxes you, doesn't it? After 90 minutes of Bielsa ball.
That's it, mate. But guys, just a little shout out to our sponsor, teamwarlart.com. Look at all these now. I'm gaining loads, absolutely loads. They're going to have to go on my wall at some point. Brownie's getting some sent through as well. Perfect for a gift. Worldwide shipping. Teamwarlart.com. The link is in the description below. Go check it out, guys. Brownie.
It just seems so straightforward. And like, I think we were due a bit of luck after the Palace game at Selhurst Park. So that deflected shot was well what we needed. I think we said last night, didn't we, about the early goal. First 10, 15 minutes was going to be massive, but it just didn't seem like Palace were arsed. They just didn't really. Imagine if fans were allowed in the ground and being a Palace fan coming up tonight on a Monday night.
Especially because they've won 2 in a row, haven't they?
Yeah, I saw a stat before the game which settled me a little bit. Was Zaha 18 games he's not played and they've won 2 of them. So it just shows how much of an impact he is for them, doesn't it? But yeah, it just seemed like they didn't really lay a glove on us. I can't really think of one. It felt like the only way they were going to get a goal is if we gifted them something, didn't?
Yeah, I mean, mate, we've got to start from at one place, really. I mean, I know we scored in the first 3 minutes, but we've got to let that aside for the minute, because in that first half, me and you were texting, and there was one man on the pitch, wasn't there? I mean, Harry Keegan said it here. Rafa is only 24. How good was he, mate? First half.
Do you know what? He could play for Barcelona. That might sound ridiculous. He could walk. I think he could get into any team in the world right now. That I know it might sound biased because he's a Leeds player and I'm a Leeds fan. He's that good. I think he gets in the Man City team.
What, straight up like first 11?
I think he gets in.
My mate said to me at half time, he went, he's the Yorkshire Mahrez.
I was just about. That's really weird. He said that. When I was thinking about getting in the Man City team, I was just thinking of Mahrez, and like we said, we compared it to Richarlison with the Brazilian thing. He's levels above Richarlison, and how much did he go for? 50, 60, 70 million.
Yeah.
I can now see why the meltdown in Rennes happened in France.
Yeah, you can see why the fish and chip argument came over, can't you?
17 million. I mean, it sounds a lot of money, but in today's market, 17 million for a player like that, we've absolutely robbed them blind.
Yeah, I mean, there was outstanding performances tonight, mate. I thought, don't know about you, I thought Cooper was unbelievable.
Just going to say, Cooper again, he's pocketed Ayew. We said he's pocketed Wilson, pocketed Calvert-Lewin. He just seems to have, I don't know, he had a little rocky bit. But to be fair to him, he's had different centre-halves stood next to him week in, week out with all the injuries we've had. And it just feels like we've had a little bit of a settled back four for the last weeks. And it benefited him, I think. I just think he's... Like, I'm not saying he's not his biggest fan, but I felt like there was always a mistake in him. But I don't get that impression from him at the minute. He feels really assured and comfortable defending 1v1 situations.
Yeah, I think I agree with you, mate. I think it's... At this moment in time as well, from the Championship, there was always a mistake there. But now in the Premier League, there's none of that. There doesn't ever seem to be a mistake.
No corners conceded either. We cleared all our defending corners.
Yeah, I know.
The first one, it was. I looked at the clock. It was 20 minutes, and it got deflected out for a corner. And straight away, and oh no, we headed it straight out. And I thought, like, we had that discussion, didn't we, about defending set pieces, and we seemed to get our head on them all. I don't think we really got beat to any of them tonight. So
yeah, I mean, Stroik could have had hat-trick, couldn't he? I mean, when we were saying, weren't we, offline, it's like, why weren't they going in? I mean, he had bucket loads of chances tonight.
Well, we said, didn't we? We said, I was texting you and I was texting my mate as well. 1-0 at half time. It just reeked of us dropping points. The amount of
it did.
You just knew his life of being a Leeds fan. You just felt what was coming, but luckily in that. But you could just feel like Bamford had a couple. Stroik, like you say, could have had that trick. It just felt like they were going to get that one chance and just equalise.
But Brownie, the thing tonight was, it's like what you were saying. I mean, I was having a conversation with my old man, and everybody get your comments in the section below what you think the best performance of the season for Leeds United has been. But for me, I mean, as Dave O'Powell says, we play like Brazil from the 70s. There's got to be a moment where you sit back. There's got to be a moment where you crack open a cigar, you crack open a bottle of Staropramen, and whatever you like to do, a can of squash, and you think to yourself, we're in the Premier League and we're playing football like this with literally a 98% championship team, and we're absolutely running it.
Well, it felt like we were toying with them. It felt like last year in the Championship where we were top playing against a bottom half Championship team. That's how. And Palace are an established Premier League team now. That we've just made them look bang average at best. Really, it just like the 3 minutes of added time. I don't think they touched the ball. I think they had a throw in and they gave it straight back to us. When the team's not, they just couldn't get anywhere near us. It frightening.
10th, mate. 10th.
Well, like we said, didn't we, about Europe? But
do you think
if you'd have said to me at the start of the season,
Brownie, we were talking about earlier on, we were talking about the perfect performances in the season. Villa, yes, unbelievable. Leicester, yes, unbelievable. But in terms of control, that game for me tops it.
Yeah, I just think the game management, it felt like we knew we didn't have to go gung-ho. We were 2-0 up. It just felt like we were keeping the ball a lot more deliberately just to show that we have that game management to us, just to keep the ball. And in the end, Palace they just stopped trying to get it. They were just going in ones and twos and we were just picking it about. I mean, Struijk and Cooper must have passed the ball to each other tonight more times than any other two players on the pitch. That's how many times we were just keeping it. It was very disciplined, I think is the right word. Just
how mad is this? Look at this. Just look at that.
Well,
we're at 8 points behind Liverpool with the game in hand.
Beginning of the season, if you'd have said we were 16 games left, we were above Arsenal with a game in hand, I'd have asked you to put your bottle down and said, look. I mean, I haven't looked at the table yet, but we must be 1 or 2 points away from Tottenham.
Yeah, it's close. And then, mate, I was looking at it, we're all lauding on Southampton ages ago, like a month or so ago, everyone was lauding, like, look at what they're doing, the football they're playing, the results they're getting. And right now, I think we're above them now. I think we're above them. It's just testament to what we're doing with the Championship side. Ben Maddox, Rafa ending careers, we're all going on a European tour. I mean, we didn't touch on him enough. You spoke about him at Barca, but I mean, that first half, he's unplayable. What could Palace have done? What could they have done?
I think he's just retired Gary Cahill, to be honest, because to him in that. I mean, it's just I'm lost for words with him in a bit. To be fair, I mean, like you say, we've seen a lot of rubbish at Leeds over the last few years. Just to see someone like that doing things like that, I mean. Cahill's won the Champions League. I know he's knocking on, but he's been an established centre-half for years, and he's just twisted him inside out. He had to buy a ticket to get back in. He's just sent him.
Do you think it was like? I mean, they're going on about it on Sky Sports now, and it's all Leeds. But is that the most complete performance in your opinion? We've had.
I felt we were. This is going to sound ridiculous because of how easy it was. I felt going forward, we were a little bit. Apart from Raphinha, we were a little bit sloppy. It was 2-0. It could have been 6 quite easily, but I think that's just getting too giddy, too ahead of that. We've got to be very happy with a 2-0 win. But I mean, like you say, Struijk could have had that trick. Bamford's put one into Gravesley's fish and chip shot when he was on. The one just before half time, he's actually onside if he'd have controlled it.
Yeah.
Harrison's hit the bar. It's crackers really how it's just crackers how like it could have been 5 and that's not even exaggerating. Could have quite easily been 5, but for a full performance, defensively very sound. We just didn't give him anything.
We've got to before we get on to the goals, mate. We're gonna have to have a little shout out to the pitch. I mean, that was bad, wasn't it? That was really.
It's dangerous. It's bad. You can tell the players are not closing down as quick as they can because they know they have to put the brakes on 3 or 4 yards before them because they're going to fall over if not. And I'm glad we've got 2 away games now because they need a bit of work on that pitch. It needs a good. I mean, I know we've had a lot of snow, we've had a lot of rain, and it's not really had to really settle in. But it's probably going to do it good that we're playing away for 2 games now.
Well, you saw like Milivojevic, you saw Cahill, and it was like they were like looking down at the pitch, they were picking stuff off, there were expletives going in there, and you could see from a Palace perspective, they were getting annoyed.
In the second half, we nearly let him in. I think it's just Strike. He slipped and he just got a last-ditch tackle, but it felt like we were more prepared for the pitch tonight. We didn't fall over as much tonight as Palace did, I don't think, but it just felt like we were putting the brakes on a little bit quicker before we got to the man, just to stay on our feet. Right, Klitsch, he spent more time worrying about where he was going to be standing just to slow himself down, and he played a part with Phillips with his injury. You know yourself, you run differently, I think. Do you know when you've got a little bit of a niggle somewhere, you run a little bit different, and I don't know if he's had more that in the back of his mind a little bit more, how he's running. And like Klitsch, was it first 5 minutes where he slipped? And that looked nasty. He's done well to catch it.
Because it looked like he sort of like twinged his back, didn't it?
Yeah, so I can imagine they won't be happy. I can see that they will bring the pitch up quite a bit.
Are we making Virgil van Strijk a thing? What's going on?
Well, I don't know. Isn't Belgium sniffing around? Is it? It might be Vincent. It might be. It could be. He's getting that ahead of it. He can pick Vincent or Virgil. Like, what take your pick, mate?
Vincent van Strijk. It's got a bit more of a ring to it, hasn't it? Yeah, I mean, a lot of people loving Strijk. He's going to be world class. I agree. I think for his age and what he does and how he is on the ball and how calm and assured he is and how he's playing in this system at such a young age, at such an elite level. I love him, Brownie.
Well, I've just been sent a message now. We've got more clean sheets than Liverpool. So shouldn't he be saying Pascal Van Dijk? Shouldn't he be getting him named after?
That's it, isn't it? Pascal Van Dijk.
Yeah. Because we've got more clean sheets. The team that can't defend have got more clean sheets than the champions.
Yeah, it's mad. It is mad. Like, that's it. Isn't it? That is it. I mean, it's a crazy statistic. It puts a big smile on my face because we've not got a fit centre back. Well, I said we haven't got a fit centre back. The centre backs that we bought for that purpose are not fit.
It's not fit, no. And it bodes well, doesn't it? How we're sat 10th in the Premier League again with what? With only Raphinha hadn't played in the Championship last year. Tonight, was that right? It was only there's only Raphinha that didn't play in the Championship, and we're 10th in the Premier League.
Yes, it's mental. The goals, mate. We said at the start, and we said in the preview. You said your manager used to say to you, the first 10 and the last 10 are the most important in a football match. I completely agree, and we saw it straight away. We were on the front foot. We were aggressive, and it was everything that we weren't against Everton. And you can see when we have that tempo, when we have that pace in our play, teams cannot live with us.
Well, like we said in the preview, like teams will come and sit and they'll defend. But if we get an early goal again, they can't do that. They have to come out straight away. So that first goal in the first few minutes, it were massive because Palace didn't want to come out too much, even though they were 1-0 down. But it just played into our hands because if they didn't come out, then you clean sheet, you win the game once you've got that goal.
Yeah. I think it's. We got the goal straight away, good finish from Harrison, and then we could have had a couple more. To be honest, it was like that. The game was going in that vein, really. I mean, the second goal as well. I mean, you had to be thankful of getting that because Jesus Christ.
It did, like that second goal settled me a little bit because it did, like I said, it did have the feeling of what's coming. You were going to get sucker punched by a set piece or something after slip, and all that good play is going to count for nothing. But I think 2-0. I think Palace will be happy with 2-0. That's how the game went. They'll have probably thought, we ain't got battered. It could have easily have got turned into that. I think if we'd have scored another straight after the second, it would have got a bit daft.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know about you, Phil, but I was a bit surprised we only made one sub. I don't know. It just felt like we could have injected a little bit more going forward.
Yeah, we spoke about it as well, didn't we? But I mean, I'd have loved. When I saw Gelhardt on the team sheet, I was absolutely buzzing because I just cannot wait to see him. But it was because obviously Pablo was injured, and I was a bit like, oh. But then I guess he has to have merit to come into the first starting line. Well, the squad anyway. I'd have loved to have seen him, but I mean, on the bench, I think the average age was 21. But I think Tyler Roberts definitely could have affected that game.
Yeah, like it opened up, didn't it, a little bit? We kept breaking on them 3-on-3 or 4-on-4, so it felt like it maybe was a game for Tyler to drive on a little bit. But we only made the sub because Phillips was injured. It didn't look like we were going to make any subs. But just touching on that bench, we've just made a team look really average. They were bringing on players like Batshuayi and Benteke, established European footballers, and you look at our bench. No disrespect, it's great to be on the bench for Leeds, but the average age was what, 20, 21? Our bench. We had 8 under-21 players in the squad tonight. It is really bonkers when you say stats like that. I'm just a little bit lost for words with it. It felt really comfortable. Just at no point did we ever look like conceding a goal against them.
Do you know what, Brownie? We saw Eze get into his full flow a little bit sometimes, and you saw that sort of Zinedine Zidane-esque sort of glide on the ball without any real effort. But overall, I thought we nullified him very, very well. I thought Stuart Dallas in particular in midfield was absolutely brilliant.
Yeah, he goes under the radar, Dallas, quite a bit, doesn't he? He's like a Milner for me. He'll always give you a 7 or 8 out of 10. Nothing flash, just does the right thing. And I think in the end, Ayling ended up megging easy, so 1-0 to Ayling on him.
Yeah, he did. I mean, I thought the battle of the match was, Dwight. I was going to say Dwight McNeil. Then I was going to say Dwight Mitchell. I thought he's good left back, and
yeah, he did. He impressed me. To be fair, it's no easy task to be having Raphinha running at him, but he second half, I think he stood up to him a little bit better. But just how quiet Milivojevic was. He just didn't do anything. The only thing I can remember him doing is kicking Dallas in the middle of the pitch. He just didn't get on the ball. I didn't get their game plan. I didn't get what they were trying to achieve. It was almost as if every opportunity give it to Eze and let him just run at players.
So Brownie on that. So why in the first game have they got a plan, and then in the second game, is it literally just on the basis that that Zaha's not playing? Is that what it is?
I think Zaha not playing was massive. When you've got Zaha and Eze, you can't target one of them, or you've got options across the pitch. Whereas when it's just Eze, yes, he is a good player, but he is still young. He's still just coming into the Premier League. It's his first season as well, so it's a lot of pressure on his shoulders, I think. Whereas no Zaha, I think Palace, if they didn't have Zaha, they'd be in a really, really big relegation battle.
Louis just said the difference is location, and we've got that.
Yeah, he's not bad. He's not bad. He's not wrong. It's not London. But we said though, didn't we? I don't even think we did 4-1. It was the deflected header, a worldie free kick. It was never a 4-1 game, was it? So as for game plans, I don't know. It just felt like everything went right for them that day for Palace. I'm glad we've beaten them, and I'm glad we've scored a goal or two. Even the second goal had an element of fortune to it. It was a great save by the keeper, and it's just parried out straight for us to tap in. So I'm really glad that we've beat them with a couple of goals that were a little bit jammy, like a deflected goal, because I felt like they deserved a bit of luck put back them.
I mean, we've not even spoken about him yet. Bamford, I thought he was once again phenomenal tonight. I think some games, if we didn't see it at Newcastle, I don't think we saw it against Burnley as well. His pressing actions, we didn't see enough of them. I think that's backed up by statistics as well. I think it was.
Definitely right. Yeah, he Burnley especially, as well as Newcastle. I think I tweeted it at the time. There's a few games where he's just non-existent, doesn't do anything. But I think that Burnley game, to be fair, quite a few people replied to me saying they had a back three. He always seems to struggle against 3 centre backs. It's a lot harder to do. But tonight, I know he's missed the one-on-one, but he's touched around the corner to create it, to get onto it. Great touch, and he just seemed. I'm delighted for him. He's got, what's he on now? 11 Premier League. Is it 11 he's got now?
I think it's 11, isn't it?
I mean, he's got 16 games left. He could reach 20 goals in the Premier League. He only got 16 last year, and he's on 11 now. He could get more goals in the Premier than he got in the Championship, and I mean that's bonkers in itself. You have more games in the Championship.
He's on to everyone's in the comments. He's on 12.
12. He's 4 goals behind last season. The
thing is, though, some people are just more ready for the Premier League, and it's weird. I'm not saying this for a second, but even with Cooper, and I know people hammer me for this, probably you as well, Brownie. I don't understand how in the Premier League he's making less mistakes and less unforced errors than he did in the Championship. The Championship, I was more nervous with Cooper than I am with him in the Premier League. It's bizarre.
I'll hold my hands up to. He's stepped up massively as Cooper, and it's the same for Bamford. I was Bamford's biggest fan last year. I think his all-round play last year was possibly better, but he's more clinical this year. It's almost as if they've swung around a little bit. But Josh is possibly right. Less risks. He knows that mistakes are going to get punished if he pisses about with it. Do you know what I mean? Whereas last year, it's the quality of player. We touched on it in the preview. It's the quality of player. That delivery is better for set pieces than it was in the Championship. So City's probably onto a point there, is Josh, taking less risks. There's not as many passes inside. He's trying to do it longer. Maybe that's something that they've spoke about in the summer. I don't know, but maybe he's right. Less risks, possibly, yeah, because you're playing against a better quality of player. So you know that if you give them the ball, you're going to get punished very much more.
Definitely. Brilliant performance, guys. Could have a 6 or 7 match on together, Connor and Brownie. Pascal played well, so happy he steps up. This is the best one. Bielsa fucks your brain in the best possible way. I don't really know how to take that, but there you go. Brilliant. But yeah, mate, I think we should end it there, to be honest. It's been a brilliant performance from Leeds. If you guys have just joined, you'll be able to watch this on the playback. So make sure you check the video out. Give us a like as well. Brownie, you're going to be seeing a lot more of Brownie on the channel. He's going to be helping me out with a few things. So get accustomed with his beautiful blonde face.
This lockdown mop needs to...
Mate,
I can't wait for the barbers to open. It's unbelievable. Yeah, Raphinha looks slick. He's got... in it, he's got a skin fade, and he's just beautiful. Touching on Bamford just before you go, that was his 100th goal, wasn't it? 100th career goal.
100th career goal. Calvin's 200th appearance as well.
It's positive. I don't know. It's
Brownie, we're in the top 10 of the Premier League, mate. We've got to be slightly.
Why is everything going so smoothly? It's not normal. I'm just waiting for something to erupt. Like there's normally like Spygate, or we had that issue with Kiko. Or
my dad said he turned around to me halfway through, and he was like, "They're going to sanction us for that pitch."
Yeah, he's probably right. There's got to be. They'll be looking through the clauses. Like, what can we get them with now? Because it's just going too smoothly. Like there's Berardi's back in training. There's talks of Bielsa new contract. Something's got to happen.
Berardi central defensive midfield for Arsenal. That's what I'm saying.
We're going to Arsenal next.
What are you saying about Brownie? What are you saying about this? I don't know if this is an insult. Look at this. Grealish and De Bruyne combo. Is that what we are? I'll take their ability.
Theo, that's not bad. I wish I had De Bruyne's coin, but that's not
but yeah, Jordan Ayew's just got home. Calvin was already there. They're all coming in. But yeah, guys, thank you so much for joining. As I said, you can watch it on the playback. I think we'll probably be back for the Arsenal preview, which should be in the next couple of days. It's all coming thick and fast, isn't it? But yeah, thanks for joining, guys, and we'll catch you in a bit. Cheers.
Cheers.